What's happening, everyone? We are back yet again for day three of AI and Crypto Week. Very excited to get in this one. One of my favorite things I've been doing lately has been going down the world of GPTs. And if you don't know what that means, then watch day one and day two. I went through a few examples there using GPTs as well, but essentially, I'm going to be looking at the marketplace of GPTs within ChatGPT, the platform. And what I've been using for a ton of research and a ton of just doing stuff. Like again, the theme of this is like going through the different individual like AI pieces that can help you do stuff that are meant like custom made to help you do specific tasks and stuff. So again, this is the master thread. It's got all the stuff in it. It's got all the examples I've been going through the last few days of how to use a bunch of different GPTs to do things. Highly suggest you go through those. Got explicit examples, how to 1, 2, 3, 4, how to create different stuff, and we'll get into more about agents and stuff tomorrow. And if you have general questions and stuff, just throw them in the chat. I'll get to them as well, as far as AI and tools and stuff go. But I'm going to go through 2 different tools today: GPT and also Perplexity. I really like Perplexity. I've been using it a lot more lately too. And I found it really good. Even though it's not in the world of GPTs, it has some pretty cool stuff they can do too. So let's have to check it real quick, and then we will get into it. Fast, Abdul, how's it going? Stay here. I'll be back. I did come back, sir. You were here, and then I joined you as well. Welcome. Red Squirrel, not number 2, number 5. You want to be number 5 or number 1 today? Let me know in the chat. Tam, how's it going? Welcome. Crypto Dan, how's it going? You had a great stream yesterday with Axis. Talking about DAI on PulseChain and a whole bunch of other stuff. Crypto Cause, how's it going? Welcome. Take a seat over there, as Somi would say. Let's get into it. So again, ChatGPT. I want to start off actually with the newsletter, which I subscribed to recently. It's been keeping me up to date with a few things. So I'll put this in the chat as well if you want to get updates, because my biggest thing was I wanted to find the best GPTs. Like I want to go through like which are the ones are the best. Like I want to keep up to date with new ones too, because I know people are making new ones, coming out with new ones all the time. And if you look on, if you go to the GPT section, you just go explore GPTs on the top right chat GPT window. God, if I say GPT one more time, it's just so many. Can I just say G? All right, nobody understands if I just say G. You got to hit the letters each time. If you go there are so many different ones. We're going to go through a bunch of different ones, but it's like, okay, how do I know which ones are new? How do I know which ones people use a lot? I mean, if they're featured, what does that mean? And it's not like this changes every time you go here. And image generator is still number 1 under DALL-E. DALL-E is like the image generation engine AI stuff they use for here, because ChatGPT is made up of not only the models, it's also made up of, it's got a web browser. It's got DALL-E, which does image generation stuff. A few different things plugged in there. So I was wondering how to keep up to date. Like I want to know when something new and cool comes out, not just under DALL-E, not just under programming section or otherwise, and not just what they put as the featured ones, which could be, I don't know if they're paid for or they're sorted by some metric. But anyways, I found this newsletter, came across it, and I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. So in this newsletter, whatplugin.ai, if we go to the post, it talks about some pretty cool stuff, like even use ChatGPT without signing up. So I imagine it's like some stripped down version and stuff. Again, I highly suggest, if you're trying to decide between a Netflix subscription and ChatGPT, I would pick GPT every single time these days. Again, just to be a better version of yourself, like be more capable and effective, and 10x content creation, all that stuff. I think if you have to pick between the two, to me, GPT is the hands down winner. But apparently you can even, this has different news and stuff of, you can use GPT without signing up, maybe in some way. Also was looking at, I was searching for new GPT stuff. And it also talks about like, why is that interesting? Why, without the friction of creating an account, how does that enable signups and users and people to use it better? All that. But what I was really looking for was top new arrivals. So literally this newsletter, if I get nothing else from it, which I want to keep up with AI stuff in general these days, but if I get nothing else from it, this person who's creating the newsletter is going through curating content and picking out some cool new stuff. So some of these are relevant to crypto and stuff, and some of them, are very specific, like chemistry, chem, and stuff like that. But I think photorealistic GPT, I'm just going to click on this for a minute. And I actually already came across this earlier because I saw it under image generation, under DALL-E. It was one of the top ones. But this is something I want to try out today as well. Ginger woman in jungles. Weird fashion outfit, middle close-up. I wonder if I can recreate outrage marketing with Richard. You guys want me to do that, right? We'll try some fun stuff out. Anyways, this newsletter, whatplugin.ai, I'm going to continue and see if I get some value from this. If nothing else, again, it helps me keep up with new, different GPT stuff. Software Architect GPT. It's got a little page for each one that talks about too. So builds new software architecture docs by understanding user requirements. That's pretty cool. If you're building a website, building whatever, all of this is geared for professional software devs and stuff. But in general, yeah, I kind of want to chat with this one. It's got the chat link directly there. Let's check it out for a second. So software architect GPT, I'll put this one in there. So for example, when I've talked about before, when I was building GoRealDeFi, GoRealDeFi.com, I was using GPT as my partner to help me code, to help me create color schemes and CSS stuff, and just help me explain infrastructure if I wasn't too familiar with it. I had some ideas around it. How do I do this? And kind of just help me through, make everything much faster. So with software architect GPT, let's do this. Let's be like, I want to create a website that hosts a Web3 front end. Let's see. Give me 2 options. And let's see. Yeah, let's just start there. And this is really good for people. You just have an idea. You don't know much about coding. You're not a dev. A lot of people out there with ideas. And almost every one of them are like, oh, if I just had a dev, right? Like that common thing. If I just had a dev to help me do it. Well, now maybe you could do it with GPT. Maybe you don't need to know how to code that much in order to help do this. So first question, again, this is like the chat back and forth. It's asking for clarification. So target audience. Okay, so target audience, I don't know, we could even let's do Uniswap. Target audience is Uniswap. V3 users, I want to build Uniswap V3 front end on Ethereum, because asking for blockchain integration. Let's just say, let's say Ethereum, because you know what? Let's say PulseChain. I know it's probably going to be like, I don't know much about PulseChain, but maybe we can feed us some docs about it. So Pulse Rider, CryptoDam been using GPT-4 today. It's awesome. Cool art from my house. Yeah, man, it is awesome. Like that's a great use case for it. You don't have to use it for crypto stuff. You can use it for any other vertical in your life as well. Very cool. What's up, Ted Nelson? I'm doing well, sir. Thank you. A little bit tired today, but that's what happens when you're being productive several days in a row. But doing good, man. Doing good. So anyway, I've never built a Uniswap front end. So I'm kind of like learning with this too. So interesting. It talks about static site with serverless functions. Options, static site generation front end hosted on Netify versus, okay, it's talking about serverless hosting different functions. Anvil is another, yeah, let's do that, because I know Dipcatch from them guys like Anvil. Focus on using Anvil. So if you have a particular framework in mind or platform, you can tell it that too. Okay, now it'll be like, all right, give me Anvil specific answers. So it'll talk about the key features. So Anvil is like deploying Python. It's kind of like a Python web platform. I used it a little bit, but I think Dipcatcher and Maximus guys, they use it like a lot for a lot of the different apps and stuff. Cool. So I don't know if this writes code. I think it's just going to basically go through the design and stuff with you. So, okay, that. And then you could be like, yeah, so it's just tell me the key features graph. Okay, write some documentation for how the site works and show some pseudocode as well as flowchart. See what I can do. So this can give you an idea before you go to code something. And again, you don't need to know how to code in order to use GPT to code stuff. It definitely helps because like you can ask better questions. But if you're taking this, if you're going through this training with me, and on day one I showed you like how to read code, write code using GPT. If you can teach yourself a little bit, so you can ask at least okay questions, it can help you push you along in the right direction. It may take you longer to get to the answer to write code, but it will write you code even if you don't know how to code. Like it's that good. And if you know how to code, it can write even better code for you. Yeah, so this is cool. So flowchart, it starts to describe it. Start user visits the website, connects wallet, views LP pools, execute swaps. Sweet. So it didn't draw a flowchart, but we can use the other GPTs to do stuff like that. Documentation code. Let's see. Yeah, it's like, okay, use Lucid Chart or Trail.io. I'm going to use whimsical diagrams because I like that GPT. So we use this, I think, yesterday as well. So I can basically be like, literally, I'm just going to copy and paste this in there. I'm not going to tell it anything else. I'm just going to paste that, see what it does, see if it draws it. So some GPTs they just can't do things. They can't draw stuff. They can't make a diagram or whatever. Just hop to another one and just build off each one. What's up, MA? How's it going, man? Hope you're doing well. Centurion Kitchen live. We're doing it live today. Shout out to Bill O'Reilly for his live meme back in the day. Super funny. I don't know what he's doing these days. Yeah, so now pretty good. I mean, it could be a better one. I don't really like these long flow diagrams, but it does work, right? Like this tells you the logic of the code, right? User visit site, they connect to wallet, and then they prompt user connect, display wallet address. They can look at different stuff. I'm going to say, so my question at this point is, all right, what, yeah, give me some pseudocode. So if you don't know what pseudocode is, it is basically, it's not real code. It just kind of looks like code to help you understand what's going on. So more than a picture, it'll be like, okay, here's a function called connect wallet. It does these things. It's even writing it in Anvil. Is it? Yeah, it's writing in Anvil's, different library format syntax as well. So it's writing some example code to show you what it would look like. This isn't code you can take and run. It's just example code. I think a pseudocode is like a high level version of what the code would look like, but sometimes it's pretty close. Like this looks like it's real code. It's just, you just got to make it work based on, what you're doing in Anvil. And we're starting with a technical example. I'll go into other stuff that's not so technical. This is just like the coding portion. I think it's interesting to go through. So yeah, it read a bunch of code, doing swaps, liquidity pools, and then say like describe how the website talks to the smart contract. Again, trying to get each piece where I'm doing this very quickly, but this could be something you talk back and forth with for hours until you actually understand what's going on, and then how to, write the code, deploy it, get it to write the code for you, all that stuff. And I've never did this before. I'm literally just going off of my, so I say that for two reasons. One, there may be more to this. I don't think there's much more. I think this is like, at least give you the basic outline. I'm not telling you everything is a single need to do because I never did it before. And I'm doing it in 10 minutes versus, it could take a few hours to actually get all this stuff done. And if you didn't have GPT, it could take days or weeks, or you may never be able to do it. You just have to hire someone to do it. And two, just to show you the power of what you can do with these different custom, software architect little models or modules that GPT has. Yeah, sometimes it has an error, whatever. But yeah, so the point is, this shows you the different calls, the things you can do with Anvil, with Web3, and basically gives you an ideal and a lot of code that you could probably use this code. Like I'm asking it to give me sample code. A lot of this stuff probably works with minimal modification, and you can just take it and be like, whatever code. Let's just take this code, or let's say, let's take this code and say, I'm going to generate, but then I'm going to stop, and I'm going to say, I'm just going to ask you the question and go. I'm going to say, take this code and make it work with Uniswap V3 contract. And again, you got to maybe adjust the different parameters for what chain you're using on stuff too. But let's just, let's ask it. And this is not for coding. I could technically take this and put it in another coding app to make it do better stuff. And like some of them can still do some of the stuff we need to do. So it's even telling you like even how to make this code work. You got to install the package npm. It's like this Node.js package manager. So it's like a JavaScript framework. So this is using JavaScript. So I got kind of a little off track here because I want to use it with Anvil. And you just find the Uniswap V3 contract address, put it in there. The API, which is how you talk to it. And I've got on my blog, rhmax.org/blog, I've got walkthroughs of how to talk to the hex contract, stuff like that there too, if you want to check it out. I've written different guides and published code and stuff before. So check out the blog and check out the Web3 stuff and explain smart contracts and how to make your own token. There's a bunch of stuff on there that I did a while back. So this did it in that, let's say, make it work in Anvil. I want to say like obviously, but it's okay. A is not perfect. And it's saying Ethereum. So I'm going to stop you there. And on PulseChain. I think the PulseChain network ID is 369, right? Like why wouldn't it be? So if it's not, whatever, but give it that information. See what it does. Again, I'm going to move on. I know this is a very technical example. It's not going to apply to everyone. Most people are not going to be writing software or doing design docs and stuff, but I want to give you an idea of like literally how you can go from 0 to like 1. You can take it from nothing to, I can finish this myself if I just type in the right values and do a little bit of research, or, ask them to do research for me. Actually, Perplexity, I'm going to be like, what is the chain ID for PulseChain? See, I'm surrounded by AIs that can help me do stuff. Boom, 369, baby. That's what I thought. So now I know what the network ID is, or the chain ID. So if I need to put that in somewhere, right here, like, what is your PulseChain RPC URL? I just ask. You can ask GPT too. I just like using, for general questions, I've been using Perplexity. Let me put that in the chat too, in case people missed yesterday's, because I went over it yesterday a lot. Perplexity is just like another AI tool. I think it uses, I haven't used it a lot yet. I really like what I've used so far, but it uses ChatGPT's engine. It can use different engines if you use Pro and stuff too. But it just gives you different links and references, different interface. It's pretty cool. So we'll say, what is PulseChain RPC? So you literally don't even have to Google and do the research yourself. Yeah, somebody yesterday was saying like, instead of Googling, they use Perplexity. I think they were saying that. So again, I'm very short and concise with my questions. So sometimes it'll tell me like what actually is RPC, but in this case, it actually gave me what I was looking for too at the end. So yeah, rpc.pulsechain.com. So there you go. You replace that with RPC. You want to use that one. You want to use Gamma's community ones, whichever ones. Contract addresses you can ask. I wonder if it could actually tell me what is Uniswap 3 contract. I don't think it'll tell me on PulseChain. Let's just say Ethereum for now. Address for Ethereum. Yeah, so tell me that. What about on PulseChain? Yeah, so you kind of got to figure out the right one for that, and you use the Block Explorer and stuff too, or use some other references. But a lot of stuff, especially on Ethereum, it just knows like a lot of stuff too. So if you just type this in Google, oops. No, really? Let's go Ether scan. And you type this in. Well, maybe it's not the right one. I don't know. Maybe it just they call it hallucinations when it gives you the wrong answer. Anyways, you get the point. Like you can do research and stuff through that. And there you go, pays to double check. So anyway, they went from, I used software architect GPT to help me design and give me pseudocode and stuff for building Uniswap front end for PulseChain, for Ethereum, for anything too. And this is, again, something you go back and forth with and really learn from and do your own project, not even needing to understand how to code or having much experience. If you just have some time to go back and forth, you can understand some of these concepts. You know how to ask the right questions to get the right code for you. It'll do the bulk of the work. Pretty sweet, right? So let's move on. So that's, I think that was a pretty good example. Again, using different GPTs to do that. Let's go back to, I want to check out this photorealistic GPT. So again, you can find it there. So I picked it from the blog, but if you just go, I found it actually from the Dolly one. No, where is it? Yeah, this one. So I saw it was ranked number 5. So if you click on that, it's got start chat. If you just right click and go to new tab, instead of clicking it, it'll open a new tab so you can go back and still surf on the GPT stuff. So generate realistic images with text. So chat, give me something to generate. I'll do it second. I'm gonna do first. Let's just see, again, I've never used this before. I'm just going to test its limits. Draw Richard Hart with Louis Vuitton airplane. Let's just see what happens. Shout out to Richard Hart. Yeah, I've upgraded my mic. People talk about I can hear more noises from my mouth, so I'll try to mute most of the time, but no promises. Your image is currently being generated for prompt Louis Vuitton bag. Take a minute while you wait. View your image here. Okay. Okay, so not found. So it's basically generating it and then storing it on Firebase storage. Okay, so I guess cloud. I'm actually not familiar with this. Looks like probably a cloud-based where they just drop it in a bucket somewhere. But it's not there yet. So we wait, refresh, not found. Ready in a minute. I guess it won't give me an update, funny enough. I just have to wait. Micah Style's not better. I don't want it to be. I don't want to worry about audio video stuff. But I'm glad that it is, but I'm totally not taking any more mic feedback. No pun intended. But MA, like I can see that coming from you because apparently you're an AV guy. I saw you helping out with all AV stuff before. So just in the future though, DJ Cryptomatic got me to drop $700 on a new mic. It's the last time I entertain mic sucks feedback. But again, I'm not upgrading any more AV stuff. Not happening. Focusing on content, but I'm glad it's better. All right. Does that look like Richard Hart? Not quite. Interesting. And they drew an airplane and everything. I mean, it's a pretty good picture though. Let's see. How can we describe this better? Let's look for GPTs that can I can give it a picture and it can describe the person to me. Describe person. Here we go. Upload photos of a person, see how AI describes them, their lifestyle. People analyzer. Boom. Again, this is taking you through my thought process of how to do this stuff. So I'm like, yeah, people analyzer. Okay. So give me 1 sec. Let me find picture Richard. I'm just literally going to Google for pictures of Richard Hart. Let's pick what's like a classic one that's not twerking. I kind of like this one, but I need more of a, maybe. I really like this one too. Regardless how you feel about outreach marketing, that was a period where I kind of miss like new picks and stuff. Maybe I just miss like Richard out there having fun. Maybe that's what it is. He had some pretty cool outfits, you got to say though. Pretty funny ones, but pretty cool ones though too. All right, it's been way too long on this. How about this one? That looks pretty okay, right? So forget the headline. Forget the FUD headline there. Okay, give me 1 sec. Save images. So I'm just downloading. And I'm going to upload. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to ask. Oh no, shoot. I uploaded to the wrong one. You know what? I'm just going to ask. Draw this person. Why not? We're already here. I accidentally uploaded. Yeah, see? Sometimes they fail. Okay, give me 1 sec. Let me upload it to the right one that I was actually wanting to use. 1 sec. So you learn their limitations pretty quick too, but then you just move on. Be like, all right, you can't help me? I'll move on. Sure, MV7. I think I'm using SMB. I think SMB7 or something. What is it? SMB7 with the XLR adapter for USB. What is this one? Sure. SM7DB. Yeah, that's what I'm using. Yeah, it was not $200 because I was like, if I don't upgrade incrementally, if I'm going to upgrade, it better be like, the best, right? So I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to get a mic and then be like, oh, okay, maybe is it 10% better? No, if I'm going to go through the trouble getting a new mic, hooking it up, redoing my setup, I broke my mic arm, so I had to like get a new mic arm, set up. There's a bunch of stuff. I don't want to do stuff like that. I just want to create content. But when I need to, I will. So that's why I try not to, do a lot of stuff like that. Just consistent, right? Get a setup. I can just pump out stuff a lot more easy. Anyways, so I want a 90% upgrade, not a 10% upgrade. That's why I'm not like going to incrementally do that. Thankfully, I can afford it. So I'm still sharing. Okay, so I got the upload here. And I'm going to say draw. Let's just try this. Draw this person. Okay. Yeah, so my original idea was I was going to ask him, what was I originally going to do? I was going to ask it what they looked like, right? I totally forgot to do that. But GPT helped me. And it's like, you know what? I can't make that person, but I can create a character inspired by the person. I'm going to say, do it. Make our dreams come true. Yeah, this annoying. Every time you use a new plugin, you got to confirm it. Okay. MA says, draw Richard shaking Donald Trump hand. I don't know if it'll draw two people. Let me see how this goes. Oh yeah, I would, but I want to move on to. I want to go through a couple other GPTs. So I'm gonna wrap up here in about 15 minutes or so. Otherwise, I totally would try that. Okay, so let's click here. Not there yet. Just wait a minute. See what it comes up with. So literally, like the reason I'm showing you how to do all these things, how to use these different GPTs, because ChatGPT is powerful, but it's general. You ask it questions. If it knows about it, it'll tell you. The game changer with the GPT marketplace and these little specific ones is they're basically trained, or they're either trained with specific knowledge or specific capabilities, or they are supported by a company, just like I was doing video generation yesterday, that reaches out, that uses the AI and then reaches out to an external service that has nothing to do with ChatGPT, other than they programmed they launched a service as part of their product, their infrastructure, whatever, to allow the combination of AI, like, okay, do the AI stuff on ChatGPT and then send it over to Air services, because ChatGPT it can't do everything. It can't create all the videos. It can't do all the stuff. We have all the infrastructure. Just connect the two. Connect the AI with the traditional stuff we already do, and then make that the user experience. And that's what these other GPTs do. That's why it's so powerful. And again, worth the $20 a month. All right, let's check and see. Well, is that a very young Richard Hart? Actually, not looking too bad. Not looking too bad. I could believe it. Or that's like his, could be a son or something too. Pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, you can just generate people, right? Generate pretty interesting looking people, photorealistic people, all that stuff. And you can give it pictures of other people and say, generate someone who looks like that. Now I could say, make them heavier, older, and with a hexagon necklace and Louis Vuitton airplane bag by their side. See what it says? All right, we'll wait for a minute. Let me know again. I'm going to wrap up here in about 10 minutes. Let me know, outside of image generation, is there something, because really I'm trying to show you the power of those people analyzer. That's what I was going to do. I was going to send the image to this and then get it to describe it, and then take what it described and then feed it to the GPT. There you go. To show you the power of what you can do, because you got to export GPTs. You got, DALL-E is for image generation stuff. Video makers, we already went over day one. We went over coding and stuff. Day two, and website creation, we went over day two. Content creation, videos, pictures, memes, how to create memes. Yeah, there's productivity. There's a Canva plugin, Canva's very popular. I used to use it a lot for thumbnails. Now I've been using more AI stuff. Canva has some AI stuff too. Veed, again, the video generation with Veed is fantastic. Watch the previous day two training to check that out and watch the demo. WebPilot for research. Maybe look at WebPilot for a minute. WebPilot's pretty good, because it's basically, with WebPilot, you can essentially replace, even the examples, today's, Hacker News stuff. It's basically like replacing Google too. It's another way to be like, okay, tell me the latest Hex crypto news. And then, you can switch back and forth, and let's see. Okay, let's see if it did the image. All right. That's, that's accurate. Maybe a little bit heavier, not much heavier. Is that a dress? It's almost like a dress there. That's just like a super rich person deal. Sort of a hexagon necklace. I don't know if I call it a hexagon. It looks like more like a gingerbread man or a Christmas tree. There is a Louis Vuitton bag there, not shaped like an airplane. But I don't know, if you go back and forth with it for 20 minutes, it'll probably get something better. So power of AI. So anyways, Web Pilot is pretty cool. It basically can search the web. It's like built for research and stuff. Yeah, I asked about Hex latest news, investment tokenization efforts. It's talking about Mantra securing this. ETH well moves. On March 8th, Whales reported purchase 620 million. These moves in Ethereum revolution. Are they talking about the ETH from the DAI? I don't know. It's not doing very good on Hex news. I'll say that. Let's see. I could be like, tell me the top 5 DEX in TVO. Oh, cool. Apparently Midjourney. I haven't used Midjourney, but I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. Midjourney, you can try dash Scivive. Is that a command line? Image address here up to the prompt. Sweet. If it's a command line, I love stuff like that too. I would love to try. I'll have to check that out. And you can image address here in order to make stuff. Make much easier. It'll actually, I'm assuming here with Midjourney, you can actually give it the picture and it'll create something like that instead of you having to describe and go back and forth some. So yeah, Midjourney, I heard is like the tool to do a lot of stuff like that. But I haven't did a lot of image generation stuff. The only thing I use AI image generation for is not from real people. It's been to make thumbnails or to make memes and stuff like that. So I tried to access DeFi Pulse, tracks it, top DeFi's. Really? Bro, use DeFi Llama. I could have said at the beginning, give me the top 5 TVL from DeFi Llama as well. Nice. I'm about to try Midjourney command line. Sweet. Thank you for the tips, Hex G Banger. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, so you can point at a site instead of going there yourself. Yeah, it'll pull data from there too. Sweet. What else? I wanted to show a couple things. So again, there's a GPT for anything you want to do. I would check to see any specific stuff. I would check to see if there's something to help you do it. We've already went over a lot of stuff so far, and tomorrow I'll go over agents and how agents how they work and how they're like the next level of GPT, like GPTs working together and stuff like that to perform goals instead of just single tasks. There's math stuff. I mean, yeah, I already went over like creating a website into like 2 minutes. All kind of stuff's pretty cool too. Let's see. Oh yeah, this was pretty cool. So with Perplexity, let me show you this real quick. So if you just want to like, again, teach yourself stuff, GPT is pretty good at it. You could be like, explain Uniswap V2 LP or draw me a diagram with whimsical diagrams, that GPT. But I thought this was interesting. I did it recently because I was like trying to come up with, is there something interesting I can take from this to create some content from? And so with Perplexity, I just said like, what are the top 5 DeFi strategies? I'm still thinking of ways to turn this into like content and be like, so from that you could be like, so it goes through liquidity provision, basically liquidity providing, yield farming, staking, just investing in indexes apparently, arbitrage, stablecoin strategies, stuff like that. And then I want to say what specifically for PulseChain. See what it comes up with. Pretty cool. So it starts listing some stablecoin stuff. It starts talking about CST, Coast, USDL, PXDC. That's Liquid Loans, Power City. And so it starts talking about stablecoins and then staking and farming. So Pulse is not listed as staking asset, staking rewards. lending PLS can yield around 5% APR. So where's that getting it from? So if you're like, okay, this is pretty cool actually. So I will learn new resources too. By the way, it's got Coffee's videos, and it's got Matt up there, and it's got one of my videos apparently. Or hold on, is that my video or somebody make a video on this? It's not my video. Wow, did Coffee make a video on Go Real DeFi? Awesome. Did I missed that one? I just don't remember. Thank you, Coffee. That's awesome, man. He made a full video apparently, or at least the thumbnail is Go Real DeFi. Sweet. But it'll even teach me websites I've never seen before. So this one apparently goes to stakingrewards.com, where they have asset PulseChain. So even though it's talking about like lending yields and stuff, I'm like, okay, where? Like what platform is it talking about that on? So yeah, like, and then I can go here and say, oh, here's another site that lists PulseChain stuff for data. What is it talking about? And then if I look here, yeah, learn more about PulseChain staking. So Turinauts PLS can be staked since we do not currently recognize PulseChain as a proof of stake. What are you talking about? Okay, there you go. Now I can be like, let me fire this. Let me fire this out to the community and be like, you guys want to request they get listed on staking rewards? So yeah, this is like good information for me too, as you know, have an audience. I want to get people. If I see gaps in websites that don't have enough information about PulseChain, it could be giving people more information, especially when it's like an easy win right there. I'm going to send it to myself. I'm going to make a note, send it there, tweet, and ask people to submit PLS. There you go. So I learned stuff myself in this too. So they don't have enough information. We can help them out with that. Yield finance. I haven't heard of yield finance. Is that powered by PulseChain? Or is that just a mistake? Powered by PulseChain. You go yield.finance or yieldpulse.finance. Is this a PLS thing? I've never heard of it. Let's go to Twitter. Let's see if they talk about PulseChain. Yeah, it says PulseChain. Oh, it looks pretty old though. Twitter hasn't had an update for a while. Yeah, I don't know if this is still around or not, but apparently they were at least thinking about it, or the launch and something happened. I don't know. So enhanced DeFi liquidity provisions. So yeah, it talks about PulseX. Do an LP there. Nothing super that I didn't already know, but I mean, good for if you're trying to learn that. And then you could say, yeah, teach me how farming works on PulseX. So this is not only using the AI as a background for information it already knows about liquidity pools and Uniswap and stuff like that. It's searching the web. It's understanding, oh, PulseX. I may not have that in my model, but I can search the web and it can tell me it's a Uniswap, V2 fork or PancakeSwap fork based on Uniswap V2 tech. And then I can start putting the information together and providing a reasonable answer on how to do a lot of stuff. So how to understand it, PRC20s. I mean, this looks like an up-to-date information guide of like how this stuff actually works. So while yield farming and pulsing can be lucrative, it's important to be aware of risks such as impermanent loss. Yes, definitely understand that before you get into yield farming. Pretty cool. PulseX has never been hacked. It's a fork of battle-tested exchange. And I give you a reference. Where to get that from? Apparently a Reddit thread. There you go. 1 month ago. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Last 5 minutes. Any questions? Anything you're like, I want to do this with GPT. I want to do something, but I just don't know how. Any questions on how to do that? And you can make your own, by the way, too. I did a whole thread. So that's one of the first things I did was make a PulseX 101 AI. So before I learned about Perplexity, I still like the agent GPT to do stuff too. But you could just use Perplexity to get a bunch of information on PulseX and then go and create your own. So yeah, let's do that real quick. I'm just going to take this Where are we at? So let's go to GPT, explore GPTs. Or actually, one sec. Not GPTs. Okay. So if you go to this link, if you have ChatGPT, and you go to create a GPT, and if you go to, you can like do back and forth and talk about what you want to do, or you can do configure and just add in the instructions yourself. And again, I have some guidance on like how to do this here, putting in PulseX and all that. But you can make your own custom one. You can publish it. You can make it public. You can make it private, and you can train it. You can be like, just all this stuff. I'm just going to copy. I'm just going to copy what it told me about PulseX, and I'm just going to say, make a PulseX farming 101 GPT with this info. Oops. Oh yeah, it's got all the YouTube links. So I just pasted it in. Okay. How about naming it that? Yes, it does work. So it's confirming it. It's generating a profile pic. I wonder what it'll choose. It picked a description, guiding through PulseX yield farming from liquidity to earning fees. Pretty cool description. It picked a picture of, it had generated its own, apparently, yield farming picture. Oh, I like it. And then how would it behave? Again, you can do all this stuff manually. Just type it in where you don't have to go through all this stuff, or just use create. Because that's overused. Explanations. It's basically probably just putting this in the configure tab anyways, just adding information to that to make sure it does what you want it to do. You can do this. I think didn't Goldkey make a Scivive GPT a while back where you can just ask a question. He like fed it Scivive book, probably in PDF format or something, and like you can just ask it questions about Scivive and probably ask for quotes and stuff too. Be a teacher tone. All right, all set. So now we have it, and it's been created, and now I can interact with it. I can say, explain PulseX yield farming in 2 sentences. Don't have to spell anything correctly. It already knows. Boom. That's like your phrase you could tell people about. What is ink token? I hope it explained that in the data I gave it. Yeah, probably not. No, it built on Polygon Network. Yeah, so I probably didn't feed information about that. So it could just be like, what farming token do I earn on PulseX? Hopefully I gave it that information. You got to make sure to feed it. I just gave it a little bit of information. I gave it a lot of information when I trained the 101 bot. Earn PLX. Yeah. So apparently I didn't give it enough good information. So make sure you do that. It probably doesn't even talk about ink in here. So just kind of had to guess sometimes, hallucinate as you will. So yeah, you could, if you, what I did was I basically just got the agent stuff, which I'll talk about tomorrow, to go through and get like it's all the information on PulseX. It knows everything and fed it to it. This is just, I just gave it a few paragraphs. So it's not gonna know everything. Get the idea though. There you go. Got your own bot. You can publish it, share it, whatever. Pretty cool stuff. All right, we'll answer one question here. Can I make a trading bot in GPT-4? let's try. Make me a simple trading bot written in Python to check DEX screener for, I assume you are you want like RBot, or you just want to like catch different prices for cheap prices on Ethereum. See what it says. Nope. So I already know what this is. It's like, I don't know how to do it. Use the DEX screener API. And I'm going to look up DEX screener API. So it knows exactly what to do. No excuses. And I'm just going to copy all, see if it worked. Because sometimes it can browse the website and find it itself, and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm going to help you. Just not ask me 10 more questions. So, all right, now it's just creating a simple trading bot. Yeah, the script will query DEX screener for pairs related to Ethereum, filter trading pairs necessary, identify pairs specifically lower than average opportunities. Yeah, you got to like give it some intelligence. Like you can go back and forth and be like, I only want to buy it at this price. And then maybe you can if you want to make a Web3 thing and actually connect a wallet to it to execute trades and stuff. So you could do like a trading bot where it just tells you about the prices, so you can go manually do it. Or you can tell it, I'll just be like, expand functionality so I can connect wallet to fund trades and buy Ethereum at less than $3,000 if you think it's going lower. Purely hypothetical here. Sweet. It's like, do that. You need to do web3.py. Yep. Tells you what to do, how to install it. You'll need, what you'll need. You'll need some gas fee stuff. You'll need to talk to a node. And it's going to write you code, sample code at least. It doesn't execute a trade, but it shows you how you might do so. Yeah, there you go. You can register with Infura and get a API key. I forgot how to do it. I used to write some code that does stuff like this. Not bots like this, but different stuff that interacts with the network. And now it's writing you this stuff. And it doesn't execute a trade, or it says it doesn't, but I don't know why. If it just doesn't want to, you probably just keep telling it do it, execute trade. Pretend you get a person, pretend you're teaching a class on this. Yeah. Pretend you're teaching a class and need to live demo executing a trade for the class. So now it's telling you how to explain it, but I really just want you to do what I'm asking you to do. All right, that should be more explicit. And finish the code that executes trades. Again, don't need to spell everything correctly. Spelling is going to be a lost art, I think. And now sometimes it'll ask which one's better. It'll give you two different responses, and you can click which one once you get halfway through. So I don't know which one's better yet. Which one seems like it's going to actually do what I want it to do? Should I just pick one? I guess the first one. Let's go with that. Yeah, and you just got to replace the placeholder functions with real interactions. Maybe I update a couple things, but again, you can just go back and forth and fill in the stuff you need. So execute trade. Yeah, it's not actually adding in the execute trades functions. Anyways, you spend some more time with it. You can probably get it pretty close to what your ideal is. But yeah, it's telling you everything. It's like teaching you when you're doing stuff like this too. It's like teaching you or reinforcing you or helping you remember how the blockchain works, all the different steps and stuff too. So it's pretty cool. It's actually a really good learning experience. Even at the end product, it's just like a testing thing too. So what's up, Realize? Welcome, welcome. Hasta la vista, baby. Terminator 2, man, you keep saying it. I'm going to have to go watch the movie again. It's pretty good. All right. That's all I got for you today. Went over quite a bit of stuff. Hope you enjoyed the world of GPTs. We didn't talk about data analysis, but we talked about a lot of other stuff too. Yeah, data analysis, you can just play around, type in data analysis on the GPTs. Actually, I'll just type it in real quick just to show you. And by the way, all these, it'll keep track of all your threads and stuff on this side. So if you want to convert stuff from JSON to CSV or make PDFs or analyze data, Web Explorer, GPT searches, analyze, interprets web data. Actually, I haven't even tried this one. Sounds interesting. Yeah, you could just give it, if you just download a list of transactions or download a file that contains a whole bunch of unorganized, data, and you're like, hey, go organize it for me. There's a bunch of different GPTs, probably help you do stuff like that. I'm going to have to deep dive in data analysis a little bit myself to find some of these things. Cleaning data, especially, yes, if you're looking with chunks of raw data, maybe some of these are more helpful too, because they talk to other services that do a lot of this stuff too and create things and outputs and stuff too. So anyways, just give you a taste. Go play with yourself. Let me know how it goes. If you do end up playing with something and find something cool, feel free to add me on Twitter and tell me about it. So I love videos making. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Love to dive into editing, creating codes. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do. All right, everyone. Tomorrow we go through agents, and I explain how to use Agent GPT and not only do particular tasks and do chats, but also complete goals and actually get stuff done. Go send a bunch of virtual robots off researching and putting together code and writing stuff for you. It's pretty interesting, pretty cool concept. That'll be a huge piece of AI going forward too. All right, that's all I got for you today. Scivive in 5555. We are out.